Oh, and the other thing I said, I have another thing that really, really bothers me. And he said, what's that? And I said, you say that Satan and Jesus are brothers. And that, yes it is. And I said, plus you say that I am Satan's sister? I said, don't even go there. He said, what do you mean? And I said, what do you mean? You tell me what you mean. And he said, I said, from when, and he kind of hemmed and hawed, and I said, from when did you tell us that God was man first, then he became God, then he came down and impregnated Mary, you know, with Jesus, and I said, and then he made Satan, so that makes us all brothers and sisters. And I said, there's only one problem about your story. And he said, what's that? I said, Satan was an angel. Satan was never a man. And I said, what book are you reading? And he said, and then he changed the subject. Every time he couldn't answer something, he kept changing the subject. And then he, I asked him about, I asked another question. I said, I have another question about Mormon men, when they die, become gods. And I said, since Satan was kicked out of heaven because he was going to be equal with God, doesn't that concern you? And I said, of course, it depends on your belief. I realize that. But I said, you are saying that you're going to be equal with God, you're going to have your own little worlds, you're going to have your own people and all this stuff. And I said, since the Mormon church started in the 1800s, and you tell me they're going to have all their own planets and stuff, I said, where are they? Nobody, I've never seen a scientist say there's any extra universes out there. And I mean, I just really laid it off to this poor kid. And the other boy that was there, I think he was new. I think he was just learning. And he, you know, we just kept talking about all the things that I have to tell you, Vic's helped us know. And I told him also about, he kept saying, well, where did you learn all this? And I told him about my friend Jay, who did tell us everything about the Mormon church. And when Jay told us about 18 years ago, my sister and I, he said that the angel Moroni is the one that appeared to Joseph Smith, and was told to start, you know, the Church of Latter-day Saints. And I said, now your new story is that God and Jesus appeared to him. And I said, it seems to me whatever you people don't like, you kind of change the Bible and you change the Book of Mormon all the time. We don't do that. And I said, I think you've only been in this Mormonism a couple of years. I think you need to do some research. And I said, have you ever read the Church Fathers? Well, I know a little bit about them. I said, why don't you do yourself a favor and go get the books in the Church Fathers? But I said, not your version. Get the true version. And this other kid, he just stood there and he looked at me and looked at me, and I know that he was really, I threw a lot of questions out there.
Oh, good.
So I hope that, and then the guy started saying, well, I gotta go. And I said, he said, I can see I'm not going to change your mind at all. And he said, and you're not going to change mine either. And I looked at him and I just stared at him right now and I said, you know what? I'm going to pray for you. And he went. And I said, I'm going to pray very hard for you that somewhere along the line you find the truth. I got to go.
Whoa, okay. You might be on a list too. Okay.
I have to tell you, that's my name.
Have you got the big red X off the front door yet?
Yeah.